Canadian winter friggin' sucks. It sucks so bad that you just want to break out, you want to go crazy, you want to do something.
Here's Johnny.
Yes, so today we are in Marathon, Ontario. I'm here actually for work, but I've got some time off in between rotations, and we are on the farthest north shore of Lake Superior. This is right in the middle of Glacial Till area, right adjacent straight down south from the Canadian goldfields. Fantastic place to hunt for Glacial Till gold, but it's also the birthplace of Uperlite rocks. Now you might be asking, what's a Uperlite? So the Uperlite is a rock that's rich in sodalite. So it was first discovered in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, or the UP, and that's where it got its name from. It glows fluorescent orange under UV light, and it originates in Canada. So while it was discovered in Michigan, it originated up here. You'll find, if we can find one, that they're very rough up here. They haven't gone through the Great Lakes. Usually the ones that are found in Michigan are nice and smooth. These ones are rough and chunky. I mean, I'm telling you, us Canadians, we send you all the good stuff. We sent you Keanu Reeves, Mr. John Wick himself, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. All right, okay, maybe not everything we send is so great, but I digress. Let's go check out the area we're going to prospect. Now, here's the Google Maps image of the property that I'm going to be prospecting. I only have permission, unfortunately, on the south side of the road. I wasn't even able to find the landowner for the north side, which kind of stinks because there's a beautiful pond on that north side of the road. Notice the color in those ponds. That's pure clay. So this is, obviously this Google Maps photo was taken in the summertime, but you can see from north to south how the glaciers carved a channel right down the middle of this bush area here. Now, I have already been ahead and scouted. There is a nice, almost a road in. I could probably take my truck in if I wanted to, but we're going to walk. It's a beautiful day, and I'll show you guys what we're going to be looking for. So we're going to be looking for formations like this. This picture depicts granite, but we're going to be looking for any type of solid bedrock. Granite is fairly native to this area, and what we want to do is, just like you're crevicing in a stream, we want to get all that gunk and dirt and clay and all that good stuff out from the midst of these bedrock cracks. Now, you might ask why I'm not prospecting in a stream. We do not have any water nearby here, as far as I know. The reason is all the streams here are just running too fast. So this is my way of getting out early and looking for some gold. Is it going to be lucrative? Probably not. Typically, I'll find a small sampling of gold, which is all I'm after. I really just want to get out. It's a fantastic opportunity, and some people don't have gold-bearing streams in their area. This can show you that if you live in the Glacial Till area, you'll be able to go out and hopefully find some gold too.
All right, guys, so we're at the middle of the gravel pit, kind of the start of the old, I call it the gravel pit, it's Glacial Till gravels, kind of the start of the ancient riverbed that the glaciers carved out. You can see to my right, which would be west, is a berm. You can see the land kind of goes upwards, and likewise east to the left, same deal. So unfortunately, we have a lot less open ground than I thought we would. They've had a lot more snow here than we've had back home, but we'll do our best, see if we can pull up some dirt. Right now I'm going to head down to that pond, and then we're going to fire up the camp stove, have a little bite to eat, and do a bit of prospecting. Alright, so awesome find number one. I was just heading down to check out this pond here. I was hoping to get some water for some gold panning, be able to get rid of some of our dirt and carry less back home. But I saw this deer trail here coming off the path towards the pond. Look up and see if you guys can see what I see. There's an antler shed down there. Go take a look at that bad boy. There we go. Look at that. Let's take a quick grab this out of the snow here. It's a half of an 8-pointer, or a 4-pointer if you're from the west. Pretty cool. There's treasure number one. Awesome day. Note to self, antlers aren't the only things deer leave behind. Better watch our step around here. Well, folks, fortunately things didn't go to plan. We've hiked all the way to the top of the pit. There is no exposed bedrock or granite yet. Everything's got 6 inches of snow on it, which is, you know what, I'm just quick out of the gate. So excited to get out here in the wilderness and enjoy myself. That's the bad news. The good news is if you look around behind me, to my back is a southwestern exposure, and there's lots of those in here. And you can see mixed in with all this soil, there's a whole bunch of glacial till rock. And what that means is, being that we're in Marathon, Ontario, it's a perfect opportunity to come back tonight with our UV flashlight. We're going to hunt for some raw Yooper-lights. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to head back down in the middle of the pit, have myself a bite to eat, make myself a nice bush lunch, head back to the truck, head back to the hotel room, take a little nap, and we'll be back tonight with the flashlights. Alright guys, so we're outside, we got our main light going. Believe me, this thing is bright, almost too bright. So this is the flood setting. Sorry, that's the spotlight setting. There's the flood setting. Look how bright this bad boy is. You really want to stay away from lights that are this bright, to be honest, when you're hunting the Yooper-lights. I'm going to have to take 10 minutes to chill out and not be night blind. Because when I'm hunting Yooper-lights, I'm going to use the UV light. So here, I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, you can see it a little. This is what the 365nm light looks like when you're searching the ground. Way less bright. And that's why you don't want to go night blind with that big ass flashlight. You want to make sure that you got your wits about you and your eyesight good so you can hunt them Yoopers.
20 minutes later.
Alright guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes you find the greatest of stuff in the weirdest of places. I'm right near the truck. I'm about to head back to the hotel. And then I come down the, down the driveway that enters the pit. And I see that. I'm sure you guys can make that out. Unbelievable. I thought I was going to get skunked. And here we are. Awesome Yooper. Let me show you a photograph of that. But holy cow. Let's get down as close as we can. Just kind of sitting there on the edge of the gravels. Awesome. All right, so I got back to the hotel room, had a couple beverages, and got to thinking, as a fellow will do from time to time. And I decided I wanted to zoom in on these two ponds that we saw. The one that's on the north side that I don't have access to, and the one where I found the deer shed on the south. A quick look tells me these aren't clay at all. This is actually bedrock. These ponds are pure bedrock. And what that means is the terrain right around them, the edges of the pond, should also be pure bedrock. So I should be able to dig down right to bedrock and get samples of that earth and be able to find gold, hopefully, in that. Hopefully the ground's soft enough. We're going to head back out to the glacial riverbed. It's supposed to be really nice and warm. And see if we can get some dirt samples. All right, guys. Well, it's a couple days later from our last adventure out in the glacial riverbed. Just wanted to show you, I'm just east of it right now. Another good indicator that it's a riverbed and it's a big glacial drop zone is all these boulders that you see here in the wilderness. And you can see just as we're about to enter the riverbed, how the land curves up. That's what they call a tier. So this is a dropout tier, and where we're going down again is the bottom out tier. So can't wait to get there. Let's see if we've had some thaw. It's been quite warm today. Let's see what we find. We're back at the glacial till spot right on the riverbed. We have opened up quite a bit of ground. I haven't found any bedrock exposed yet, but as I mentioned earlier, and as I suspected, with the pond right behind us, this is all shallow growth. You can see it's all lichens and moss, very little plant growth, and that's because they have nowhere to root. They can't grow tall. And just putting in the shovel, the little trowel confirms it. No matter where I go, that's as far as it goes. And the reason for that is because we are right on bedrock. What we have on this bedrock is glacial till. Dropped all the stones there. You can see the glacial till gravels in that scoop. This is the dirt we're looking for, right on bedrock. This hasn't been exposed in thousands and thousands of years. Anyways, long story short, all I got is this trowel because I thought that we were going to be crevicing. And I've got 4 of these buckets to fill up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and not put you guys through watching me shovel. And the next time you see me, I'm going to be back home, about a 12-hour drive, and we'll process these buckets. Alright guys, well, we are back at the house. Long drive home. It's the next day. Beautiful day, not quite as warm as it was, but here's how we process these pails. I'm going to show you just one of them, how I do them. I've gone ahead and I've topped this up with water. This is biodegradable dish soap. I will be dumping this in the bush, and being that this is biodegradable, unlike jet dry, it won't harm the environment at all. So I put a few drops in there because we're going to stir this up, and just like when you're gold panning, the last thing you want is for your float gold to float away. And I've got my power drill here, and this is one of those, you get these for about 10 bucks at the hardware store. They're actually made for stirring up paint, but they do a fantastic job of breaking up all the clay and muck. So we'll force this down here, give her a quick spin. And just like that, you've broken up all your clay. Your organics tend to get caught on the bottom of the stirrer here. And we've got our slop and our slurry. So I'm going to go and pour the water out into the bush, and I'll show you what the concentrates look like when I'm finished. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've managed to reduce that significantly. We've got maybe a 1/4 of a pail. Now what I typically do, and I won't bother showing you that step, is I'll take this and I'll put it in a gold pan, and I'll probably cut that in half. So we'll be turning 4 pails into about maybe a 1/4 of a pail by the time we're done, and that should have all our gold in it, if there is any. Alright, so after all that processing, hasty panning, we've classified everything down to 10 mesh, and this is what we have left. So this is our bigs here, and you can see our smalls. Just look at the color of those things. I guarantee you, I'm not going to bother drying these out because this is going through our cleanup sluice. Because man, I can tell you this stuff just by looking at it will be really, really difficult to pan. This is super, super heavy. So what we're going to do is we're going to pan out these bigs, and then we're going to run the smalls through our cleanup sluice. All right, so as always, we've got our handy dandy oil pan. I'm going to throw some jet dry in there because I guarantee you any gold, unless we're lucky enough to find something in the bigs, which I doubt, any fine gold would float away on us, and we don't want that. So we're going to tuck into these bigs. I'll do a couple pans live, then I'll probably switch to a speed montage or something because, quite frankly, I don't hold out a ton of hope that there's going to be a lot in here, if anything, but it's certainly worth a try. Nice looking stuff. You can see this has been down a riverbed at one point or another because some of it is quite rounded, but you also have a lot of jagged stuff in here as well. Kind of a telltale sign, and there's some of our organics that managed to sneak through somehow. Nothing in that scoop. Do a couple more. Really got to super stratify this stuff. You want anything to fall to the bottom if there is anything. And nothing in that one either. Still though, very interesting material. Very encouraging to see this stuff. Looks like we're on the right track. At least we're processing the right kind of stuff anyway. That's half the battle. Yeah, and I should probably invest in some more classifiers instead of just going straight to 10 mesh. Makes the stuff easier to pan if everything's the same size. Nothing in there. Again, guys, not surprised at all. This Glacial Till gold tends to be really, really small. But if there is anything, it does tend to be in the last pan, so keep that in mind. And as suspected, oh no, wait, there's a little piece of gold right there. Check that out. Just a little flowery speck, but gold nonetheless, and we will take it. So yes, we found gold. All right, so some of you guys that are newer to the channel may not have seen my Martin Prospecting gutter sluice, aka Dirt Russell. I use this for my cleanups. These aren't expensive. You get them for between 100 and 150 bucks with the aquarium pump included. But I thought I'd show you guys what I was using. I'd love to get a newer one, but this thing just does work. So I'm going to feed this, and at the end we'll come back, we'll take a look and see if there's anything in the riffles, and then we'll pan our stuff out. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry for the shadows here, but we do have a little bit of fine gold built up in those riffles. I'm not sure if we're going to have weighable gold, but it's gold nonetheless. So let's get the mat out of the sluice, get it into a gold pan, and see what we can do. All right, so we cleaned out our sluice mat. We are down to the nitty gritty right here. There is some weird white stuff. I have no idea what it is. I don't think tungsten is native to the area, but it is very heavy and it's made this really, really difficult. I would have brought you guys along for more of the panning, but holy smokes, it took me forever. Even after the sluicing. Let's see if we can get some sort of a reveal going here. I have seen, we saw the gold in the sluice, and I have seen flashes of it here and there. And that was a bit too aggressive because there's some coming down. Here we go. That white stuff is really annoying, whatever that is. Oh, and there we go. I'll be really careful with it. Every once in a while when you're panning, you just get that perfect shake. Things go right for you. That was one of those times. And there you go. We have about, I would say, maybe 30 colors in the pan right up here. Not bad for half a day's work. I'll take it. All right, guys. That concludes our first prospecting adventure of 2024. And I'm going to declare it an awesome success. On our awesome antler shed here, our awesome rough Euperlite, and of course, 20 to 30 colors in your pan is never a bad day up here in Glacial Till country. So I'm really, really happy with that. And, it goes to show that you can find gold almost anywhere if you kind of know what to look for. That place has lots of potential. I mean, I'm back up in Marathon often. I could bring my little mini stream sluice, set it up for circulating in that pond, and process tons of that dirt in a day and just have a sandwich and maybe even a couple of beverages and have a really, really nice day out by the pond. Awesome, awesome stuff. I want to thank everyone for watching along. Cheers, and we'll see you on the next adventure.